Só mais um jogador. Opa, olha só ele, Niang. Olha só ele, Niang.
Having a dodge and juke play and rocket! Second! It's monstrous!
I'm here with Kaplan from Sentinels, an immaculate first half. Now, I have to ask you, yesterday you told me you were very confident going into map 2. You then lost map 2, and being forced to prepare for this incredibly brutal round robin style. How confident are you going into map 2?
Always confident. There's no other way to play the game. There's no other way to coach the game. Feeling good. You know, we got to study their Ascent. It's a bit of a different Ascent, so I think strategically we feel pretty good going in because of how they're playing. And yeah, that's kind of the theme of the day. Like, you know, our confidence isn't based on how we're playing a map or how well we're doing. It needs to just be based on how we feel as a team compared to the other team. If we go in confident instead of reacting to how well we start, you know, maybe we can finally close the series out in 2. That would be really nice for the fans as well as for me and my hairline. And
you're looking great, though, so best of luck.
Yeah, everything but skin sales. Obviously, skin sales better for 3 maps, but, you know, got to look out for ourselves sometimes.
So buy the skins and best of luck.
Thank you very much.
I love that. You got to look out for number 1. Buy the skins.
I'm just saying.
Buy the skins.
Buy the skins. He's looking out for number 1. What's he talking about, bro? Like, hello?
Yeah,
50% of the revenue gets shared by the teams. That's number 1 right there.
He did make a good point, though, about the team feeling confident as a unit, and I think this game definitely illustrated that. This was a team, Uber, that just came into this really with a very clear game plan on the defensive side, and they looked immaculate.
Just like on a philosophical level, why would you pin your attitude on how a map on a certain day goes and not the entire history of the team you have going together, right? You don't want to be so susceptible to the ups and downs of wax and wane of Valorant. But what a hot start for this team on defense, right? Impossible to break. And these 2 guys were hard anchoring. Tens gets moved around a bit, but in positions where he's taking contact, he looked incredible.
I mean, they did a phenomenal job at holding down sites. That first half was completely dependent on how well they held down the sites because the rotations from the rest of their team came in so fast that it worked out so well. Tens and John QT almost every single time had a multi-frag when they hit their site. The smokes went down. Tens had such a good job of playing around his smokes as that Omen, and we talked a lot about Tens and his control role, and I think he played that absolutely phenomenally. I think in general, too, what they did was they just let MIBR take mid control.
You could see it so many times, round after round. They'd be like, oh, hey, we're going to go into the site. I kill you. All right, everyone, let's get out of here real fast.
So at some point, they just start giving up mid. They're just like, whatever, we can just play sites. We can play retake. And they did. And it worked out phenomenally. That's why they strung those rounds together.
And the most important part of that strategy is Zekin in heaven. When you give up mid, he needs to be able to hold his ground, at least buy time, but quite often comes out with multi-kills. And on the other side, Zelsis drops down ropes into heaven on A side and has to hold that down. So yes, you can give up mid, but you need to have like really good setups on those extremities.
And they had it. But we also wanted to see if MIBR was going to try and wake up in that second half. And I think they did. And even though it was a little too late, you know, Athena, I do feel as if MIBR were really trying to go down swinging there. And that admirable at the very least.
Just off that pistol round, you can tell that they still were coming into it confident. You could see on their player cams just before this that they were still happy, smiling. They knew they had some sort of confidence going into this, and I think that they really proved that by the way that they're playing. They still weren't afraid to take their fights, and they still weren't afraid to kind of go for crazy kills. And I feel like kind of a little bit scary at times, but they definitely brought back some rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, you win the pistol, you win the first gun round in the second half. That's going to get you out to a decent lead.
You're kind of back in.
But you just gave up so much on defense, and eventually, like I hate to say it, Sentinels are going to blunder into a site and find it. Zekin did the classic double satchel up mid into heaven. That has to work like once, and all of a sudden you've broken the enemy economy, and you're in very good shape. There were some odd rounds where Sentinels like invest super heavily, like that B hit where they had like the Viper's Pit, all that stuff sort of thrown down. They really went for it. And I think one thing that's worth pointing out, the other side of the John QT coin is that he's so meticulous, he rarely gets picked off, but his lurk timings can be a little slow. A little slow. So he's not always able to help out on these like more protracted site hits and post plants. Sometimes he has to do it alone after his team gets cleaned up, and that's a big ask even for him.
I mean, we were seeing that with RGL a few times, having to be stuck in those situations, needing to make the 1v2s happen, you know, like anchoring the sites. 100%. There's definitely something to be said there as well with like, maybe he was just confident enough because the rest of the team were doing everything that they needed to do. Like, yeah, I mean, John may not have gotten there on time, but the rest of the team was there and they were swinging. It was honestly very impressive to watch Sentinels control that first half, and then they get ready for the second, and MIBR wakes up a little bit, and you're really going to be leaning on the coaches here to guide this team going into this map too. So let's go ahead and hear what Bazooka had to say to Elizabeth.
I'm here with Bazooka from MIBR, a kind of crushing first map, especially the first half. I talked to you earlier today, and just the prep going into this round robin style was taxing on you. It's brutal for the team. Is this a scary start for MIBR?
I don't think so. Split was their pick and it's one of their best map. I feel like in the second half we almost got back to the game if we have done more in the first as attack. But now it's our map choice, so we just need to show our game.
All right, well, show them how it's done. Good luck.
And that is an important thing to note. Yes, I think now we can give Sentinels their flowers on Split. They look like a great team on that map, and maybe other squads are going to have to, maybe try and avoid it. But Bazooka's right. Athena, they're going into Ascent. I want to see what this MIBR team got cooked up, because it could be exciting.
I genuinely feel like both these teams have been cooking. We just heard as well the Sentinels coach talk about how they've studied their Ascent, and I feel like for MIBR coming into the second map, they need to have some sort of change, because we've seen their Split being played exactly the same way that we expected, the exact same comp
you ain't gonna get it.
And they still have the same comp, so maybe nothing too crazy to be cooked up, but maybe their playstyle changed.
The one other time we've seen Sentinels on Ascent at Kickoff was against Loud, right? It's the kind of match that you can't take too much away from if you're not playing the Loud comp. Sentinels, remember, like they're typing in chat, like this util is insane, this is crazy. I want to treat that map as an outlier when looking at this team, because as you can see here, we have much more standard comps. It is a little interesting, I guess, to go away from the Killjoy here and sort of pick up the Cypher. That is, that is going to be relevant when it comes to rounds when you would otherwise be able to play for the lockdown and maybe get into those sites or force dispersion from those sites especially. So that's the one point of difference here. It's worth looking at under the microscope.
Yeah, I feel like the biggest thing too that you spoke about earlier was the Jet, Artzin's Jet. And I feel like on the second half of that game, he was warming up. So I'm actually kind of excited to see
he kind of kept him in that last round and gave him 2 out of the game with that up.
He did his job. It felt like the rest of the team around him couldn't really fully support him.
Homie was a gargoyle on B main. He did not move until the sun went down.
Hey, there's a lot of stone structures here, so maybe a few more opportunities to be a gargoyle on Ascent.
We'll see if rocks there. Love that.
We'll see what happens. But let's find out if this one can make it to Mat 3. We're going to send it right back over to your casters. Brennan Sideshow, check your bank account.
Let's get to it. I mean, listen, an important map for obvious reasons for both of these teams. Even in the long run of the planes, it might be even more important. But there's some, potential implications here. Sassy, a chance for him to get his first win on Sova.
Yes, in VCT.
In VCT,
absolutely.
which would be fantastic for him and for Sentinels as well to get that early lead. But MIBR going to be fighting tooth and nail, I think, to try and stay into this one at least. They don't want to give up an early win so far in the play-ins.
It is very funny that Sassy is still yet to win a map on Sova for Sentinels in VCT when it's what he was known for. Back when he was playing with FRZ and playing with Bazooka and shutting down other players from Brazil domestically. That's what he was known as, the bald god on Sova. MIBR with quite an interesting Viper Wall to start us off here over towards A, allowing you to use this Viper Wall portion here just to be able to get some A main control, but they're not actually playing with it. They're just hoping it'll pull people.
Nice bit of mid-rounding, though. This alarm bot needs to be broken, dealt with.
And that's not the only piece of information that John is working with, right? He had the alarm bot for info in mid, but he's also got this turret that's giving constant info over here towards A as well. So this Viper Wall isn't actually threatening anything until the turret goes down.
Here we go, explosive. A rapid approach, but anti-flash positions. I mean, tucked to the corner, none of that util connected. Varda's down. Throws a wrench into the plans here for MIBR. Still, door closed. We'll be able to get the plant down, but risks will need to be taken. Lurk timing's RGL right behind, waiting for the right time to strike. Here he is all the way behind. He might have just found one. Droning. Sassy is alone. No one guarding the body. And he's going for it. It's a brutal one. Patience until the final moment. RGL making a mockery here of the defensive hold here of Sen. Be kicking themselves ever so slightly, yet Sentinels answer back in kind. It's a 2 versus 2. Through main, still got to deal with FRZ players onto the point 10s. Deals with that. Smoke onto the spike. Zelsis able to stick this now. Half onto it. Reload. Zelsis sticking now. Damage! Oh! Barely enough.
I always play high stakes.
Big clutch there from FRZ. iBUYPOWER got the plant down and went for a really elaborate post-plant wraparound. Not only does RGL come around the behind, but also you have Mazine following RGL around. He ended up dying before RGL did. Really unusual. It felt like for a lot of that attack round on the pistol, they weren't quite sure of where Sentinels were and what the timing was going to be. FRZ comes up big towards the end there with a 1v2 spamming inside of the smoke.
Standing ahead. Right here.
Not sure where that was meant to go. Possibly a bounce on that.
Yeah, I think so, probably.
Point and click adventure right to the traces.
No way.
Nade.
No
Hello. Damage done. 1 kill found, 1 for 1. So, pause in the play, take a breather.
These rounds have been so deadly. And I'm looking at Zekken over towards A here, too. You know, this is one of the areas where they're being explored, and he's hiding behind the box, ready to try to pick up FRZ and dash out if this lurk ends up going aggressive.
Standard position.
Sassy got his recon back online, re-cleared out B main. So they're keeping 3 players stacked on A, which is the right choice. This is where iBUYPOWER's headed.
In his direction, all eyes on Zekken. He is crouched, tucked into the corner, still has the dash. Looking to take away a head or 2. Tens gets that first initial bit of information. Up draft, up top, 2 shots fired. Tens, that is just mental stuff, man. I love it. 2 TPs utilized, still plant. Tucked
Spike planted.
into the angle.
Mazine would also die to one body shot from the Sheriff.
There's that danger there. He's the one player that's playing from main. Bullets fired.
Cover going.
No target though, not for now. Paranoia used just to respond straight away for it. FRZ, lovely with the movement, doubled up at RGL, so the safety in numbers there.
2 Guardian players. Artazine coming in. Lovely opener. Certainly could have gone badly for him, but he instantly spun around and got that headshot. Here it is, the replay. I mean, look how close that was to going wrong.
Could have been deadly. But it wasn't for iBUYPOWER, so nice 2-round lead here. It's their map pick.
Coming out here showing what happens when they play their game, in the words of Bazooka, the coach. Skyflash off the rip at the beginning here as Tens tries to reposition. It's fairly pointless to use the one-way at the beginning of the round for Tens, because this Viper Wall just makes that somewhat irrelevant. Instead, he's tried to tuck into Wine. This is the kind of gamble that in the late round might have some kind of success. But FRZ's on the other side of the map now. Shock breaks the trip, threatening that Zekken could be pushing out with Sassy. But instead, Zekken's picked up mid.
iBUYPOWER now slowly gaining a bit of ground into mid, but they might just be walking right into Zekken. Smoke's there, oh, pops up at the right moment. He can hear it, a multitude of targets. Pick your poison.
Spike down, mid.
Zekken with the 2, an instant response of Artisan. The damage might already be done for this one here with the dash fading away. It's activated a little bit prior. Drone through the back of the side. Artisan is seeking a timing, and he will be getting it. And more. 3 in the round. Might have just saved and salvaged it. Sassy on the back of the side. They might seek to just avoid this entire area. This is territory. Spike also, they don't actually have this. It's in a bit of no man's land.
That's a massive problem. I mean,
yeah, they don't have this.
Zelsis is just going to spot the spike.
He can see it.
Time?
Northwest spamming onto the corner.
10 seconds
Gives
left.
the ground up though. Mazine going to be able to get this plan down and out. Into the post-plan 1v1 situation, but that one mistake Might have just cost them. For Sentinels, it's everything they could have hoped for. A blessing now. Repositioned and Mazine close to the box, and Celsius left questioning. Where could he be? Could he have walked up onto lane? Could he have cleared any of these positions? Pushing from these positions, and there's so much to clear. All the angles in the world! There's the Phantom spray down that does the dirty work.
So Sen get on the board on the back of Celsius winning that 1v1, but it's still extremely good economical damage coming out from MIBR. Sure, you've got the Red Bull clutch, but what does your economy look like to pull off this defense? Zekken finds an amazing timing, but Artesine goes one better. Making sure that he deals with Zekken and then swinging into CT. That does huge amounts of damage. It's going to keep the economy extremely honest. It's going to turn this into an eco swing round. And it pushes John Cutie onto only having a Guardian.
Fight for A main here. Paranoia set up. It's going to be a KO flash mainly. No, looks like the knife initially. Did they get the tag? Yes, they do. Players, anti-flash. Good protocols of MIBR. Baiting out, biding the right time to strike back, hopping up. There were sound cues that Tend was privy to. Pops down a smoke as well, stops him from taking too much space up, but a call is made for MIBR. They want to take this one slow now, contacting hand in hand. Tend
this is really dangerous.
Really dangerous, really risky. Touches himself. Flash did not connect. Here's the players, and it's a half clears from RGL. Buying the time now to strike. Great shots from Mazine.
They ran over Sassy and Zelsis, who were just trying to hold on to the A site. To see things through the eyes of Tens, but the House of Cards collapsed around him. And MIBR are in a 3v1. John Cutie, who only has a Guardian, cannot make that work. Great round from MIBR there once they hit the site, actually. Love to see a replay of how Zelsis and Sassy just got so overwhelmed on site. Perhaps Tens waited for just a fraction of a second too long.
Flash seemed like it was good, and yeah, look at this. It's just, okay, wow. Smallest pocket playing inside the wall there.
Yeah, and they're spamming Sassy, who tried to come around Heaven as well. Huge from MIBR. They did enough damage to Sentinels, but this round has knocked them down onto an eco. They've allowed Zekken to get that Bladestorm online with only a little bit of chip damage, trying to react in the opposite direction.
Yeah, they want no piece of the noise. Yeah. All of that sound being made by MIBR, straight up draft. In through with the door closing. Spike should be planted. Chases A. What do you seek to do? Molly close to the corner. Hearing that one. Guns available. All eyes on Zekken to do something with this one. Paranoia dash forwards, cut to the cross here. No, it's a Molly at his feet and a nade on top of it. Exactly where he was. Pinpoint accuracy from the rest of his team. Sprayed him down, and there's the real danger in the round. That's really just evaporated in the blink of an eye.
And a bit of miscommunication as well, because that was Zelsis' fragment grenade that he jumped on top of.
Shutting them down.
You know, Zelsis is using that to clear out hell, but doesn't quite work with what Zekken was going for. And as you said, Brent, that should be all the danger in the round. MIBR having a fantastic opener to this attack half. And I would say Sentinel's defense has been better on Ascent than the rest of their map.
Enemy remaining.
It is one that they do like to get rid of in the map pool fairly early on.
Oh.
That isn't actually going to hurt the economy to the extent that MIBR can't buy. That's not exactly what you want.
Yeah, I was just trying to do the calculations.
You don't
Mathematics on broadcast, but yeah.
Never a good idea, is it?
No, never a good idea, but it does look like they get the buy online. Still, would have liked to have had the guns. With Zelsis going down to JCZ, he does have his ult now for this round.
And remember, Sen lost a big rifle round because they tried to make an early round play with Zekken. A set defensive play that ended up walking into MIBR.
Updraft as the barriers fall. He's going to be giving him the info that Zekken just posted up onto Cat. So he's going to seek to reposition now with this operator. Wants to try and get value, but it could be tough into the double controller comp. Now the contact clearance. Here is your chance. And there it is! Striking by the Iron's Heart. That's all Zekken. Oh, this guy's got mechanical prowess out the wazoo. Here we go. Attempt by MIBR. They want to try and go a bit more rapid, but they're really being stalled out by all this util. Anchoring player, that's John QT. Sassy's got this crossfire, and it's a flood of bullets. stopping them from passing and getting themselves into the site, but eventually, finally, they're starting to cross in. Flash didn't connect. Paranoia, it misses. John QT, massive chance, a massive opportunity to flash, supported utility. JZT with a trade.
But decent work there from John and Zelsis with the flash, trying to set up a team for an advantage retake situation. What is that? What a shot from JZT.
Was a 4v3, but now it's turned into a 3v3, potentially winnable for MIBR. No players off into B main, but it looks like Sen aren't aware of that one, still spamming it. Paranoia goes rapidly now, all grouped up. Zelsis, the difference maker.
Lovely flash, great ult, good cleanup. Sen needed that one. They can save an op and an Odin. The rest of the team will have just enough to scramble together the buy. But their economy is still being kept very honest by MIBRs, who are doing fine. Most people, when they're looking at attack side on Ascent, they're thinking, yeah, I mean, if we get 4, 5, we're doing good. MIBR already up to that point. That timing is so precise for Zekken to get the opener right before Mazine's or blooms. What a shot. But if Zekken is going to keep this operator online on defense, I do agree with you, Bren. He's going to find it difficult against the double controller. He's going to have to be very tight with the timings, as he was then. Well, an updraft spots him the round before. Now the cam's spotting him as well. Zekken cannot get posted on catwalk.
He's going to be feeling the heat. MIBR not wasting any time. They're already up into his face. Flash through into the smoke. Gives up a bit of ground, but he knows that they could have crossed. It's a flash to re-peek and re-clear. Ardazine, good with the Blade Storms. At least he does clean up Zelsis here with a classic. Zekken trying to go for this one. A bit of just peppering of damage. Take a breather into the round. MIBR, an attempt here. TP into the back of the side. IGL spotted. Definitely susceptible there to a bit of spray and spam through, and the awareness of Sassy is off the bloody charts. This guy aware that they could have pushed up straight through mid. Now watchful eyes onto B main. Notices players right behind them, but this guy is tearing them to pieces. Don't stand a chance, man.
Look at how he pre-fires where he's expecting the trade to come from. Looking to try to tag them early through the wall, slow them down, set up the kill. That's an Odin main. All left to RGL. He ulted into back B site in the middle of the round.
That's why they know where he is. I mean, it's watchful eyes onto lane, to all the angles, even the op as well for the peek out from RGL, which Second, I mean, he should just clean this up. Hello. Everybody faces. No disaster in sight here for Sentinels. Third round. Making this a little bit more even, bringing it back.
It's so cute.
Don't skip school for tens. Stay in school.
I did not read that sign.
Yeah, Sen, really nice flash from Zelsis at the start of the round to set up this first pick. But then Zelsis doesn't quite manage to get the cleanup onto Ardazine. Sassy, though, fantastic individual ability to be able to mop all 3 of those kills up. And this has now turned the tide of the economy. Sens was being kept honest. Yeah, that spree of early rounds was great from MIBR, but they now, with mostly sheriffs to their name, got to see if they can replicate that success from early on. Now, I would say one of the big adjustments that Sen are making is that they are not looking for early round aggression necessarily. They're actually looking to re-clear and anchor. And it's somewhat similar to what they were doing on split defense in the sense that they're happy to give up quite a bit of space. You know, they're not playing to fight mid with Zekken. They're not playing to fight catwalk. They're playing to re-clear tree. I think that plays very nicely to the strengths of Ascent as a map. I am a bit concerned about Ten's positioning right here. If they do end in an A split.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
He's quite out in the open.
Really out in the open.
If anybody, you know, a flash, a dog to take some tree control, Zelsis is going to have to be real fast with utility to help him. But it looks like danger, could be averted as MIBR, instead of going for that A split, grouping up for B.
30 seconds left.
All eyes onto the site.
There's
all eyes on Sassy.
There's not much time here, Brent.
About 20 seconds here. It's going to be a bloodbath. Finally, with the smokes dropped down. Mitz there with an Anna Swarm. Nobody can really play this one. They're all being lit up, and he knows the precise angles. Counter spam is good. John QT has to back away here, trying to play for the life. The updraft flash play is almost fantastic. But the gun just a little bit better from John, and no more time to get this plant down. As I say, doesn't survive into the end of the round, so Sentinels up to 4.
And you can see that because Sentinels are bunkering down on the sites a little more, MIBR are getting a bit lost here in terms of how to create advantages before they hit a site. We'll see whether that translates to the rifle rounds as well, but a mad scramble with 15 seconds into B is not often going to work.
Part of the unusual nature, I think, of MIBR's comp. I mean, we've seen a lot of these rounds start out with them trying to take that mid control to break the alarm bot. So they don't have a Sova to do it. Normally, you'd have a shock dart lineup that just goes into the common positions and takes care of it, and it throws that misinformation into the middle of the round for the defending team. But Sentinels, they're not having to push and pull players away until like 30 seconds into the round.
Yeah.
Maybe 50.
And I actually think that even that approach of focusing on the alarm bot is a little bit off. Because if you think about how MIBR are trying to create pressure with the Viper wall, it goes down to threaten as if they could lurk into A. Now, if you take the alarm bot away from mid, that doesn't synergize with what you're threatening with the Viper wall. Actually, I think what they need to be doing is pressuring A at the beginning, get rid of the turret, and then they can threaten that they're lurking back into A later on. And that'll really put the squeeze on Sen. They're going to have to anchor players or play full retake A. And instead, John Cutie's just being able to get like a turret on A, or in the previous round, Tens was just stood on that tight angle. But I mean, here again, if you take a look at where the turret's positioned, this is just giving them constant information behind the Viper wall. And you've got to imagine it's going to stay up late into the round, because MIBR have not really been pressuring it at any other point.
This time the setup's changing, so Zeken's going to be opping straight down into mid, and it is a straight shot that's available to him from spots. Sensed it. You could feel it. Definite chance there with the Viper Orb. Big control for MIBR. Probably going to be either flashing or dogging straight through this. Looks like the Trailblazers committed. Making sure that they can clear this one. But Zeken, it doesn't push him away from the angle long enough. He's able to just get that repeat with the dash. And he's straight out of there once more. Flash against the floor. Zelsis. Artisan was just having to face the floor as well to try and avoid this one. They are toppling.
Making MIBR look a little silly in this round. Zeken finds the same timing he did last time. Mazin picks up the orb in mid, re-throws it, Zeken peeks. And here's the timing on the turret being taken down, 55 seconds. John Cutie's setup was so that they could play retake A with the lockdown. And now they've just got such a player advantage, they can do whatever they like.
Just that, but positional as well. The advantage is all theirs. Ooh, straight shot miss, but yeah. It was Tens in main. That's what I was referring to and alluding to. He's able to just clean them up quite easily and quite nicely here. So Sentinels taking the lead now in this map, despite the bit of a dire beginning. It's 4-1 to start.
Look at the timing there. It's again right as Mazin throws the orb. Zeken's about to get smoked off, and he goes for the peek, perfectly timed, right after the dog. And then Azelf just throws that flash. Artazin's just admiring the pizza. Pepperoni, as he gets shot in the back of the head.
Getting hungry. First match of the day, plenty more to play.
So this is slightly different from MIBR. They're looking to take a main control very early on. Tens has been tucking into Wine in plenty of these rounds.
Almost a punish there. Feel it with the bullet tag slowing him down. Yeah, there is the punish. Chasing him down to John QT. Avoiding the bullets into the wall.
Welcome to my world.
And they pit so that they can fight the lockdown.
Lockdown's here, yeah, they want to try and take the fight straight to it. In that common enough position, FRZ, I mean, it just body blocks the molly. They're just running them down with the Seekers. It's pointing them towards them. Lockdown eventually dealt with so they can still maintain this grip they've got onto the A side. The Studies players are scattered. Pit, still up. Reload's online. This is a really, really hard one to fight. If you are Sentinels here with the operator, do you really choose to still commit this one? Artazine, all lined up. Potential chance for many more, but no instantaneous of the trade. Still 4 players left. It's an impossibility. There's really no chance here.
There's no way.
So much time to delay. JZZ, despite the low HP, despite everything against him, picks up the last 2 players. It's a thrifty round conversion for MIBR.
And because they decided to commit to that, they've just donated weaponry. So now MIBR's arsenal looking great. Their economy back to blooming. They're going to be able to buy for sure for the next few rounds in this half. So we're going to see rifle rounds to end out our first half of Ascent. TenZ has been tucking into Wine a ton, and if they don't go and take A main control, it's fine. But you saw there how exposed he is if MLBR decide to group up. And the pit for the lockdown fight was gorgeous.
TP forwards.
A tiles crunch, TenZ teleported into the smoke.
Attempt to spam forward, so TenZ's actually got a lot of deep mid control.
If the recon dart had pinged there, TenZ was going to try to follow up.
There's your timing. Mazine not expecting that or anticipating it, but his players right behind TenZ's. But how does he get out? Dropped, yeah. Doesn't expect the Hadazine to right be there.
And now you don't have smokes for any potential retake, so it does put the squeeze on Sen.
Positioning notified with the neural theft.
A couple of the Sentinels players from B running out of the site so that they got pinged in that location.
This round's been thrown for a loop. Second, he's gonna have to do a lot from this spot. MIBI have been quite diligent with the way that they clear this one. You're going to be expecting them to use some util. It's the same play. Knows it. What an adjustment. Nasty reaction times. And on top of that, the tag is just perfection. Almost with the 3. But RGL, he survives for just a moment. Enough to get this plant off potentially here. Bullets flying. Hunter's Fury used to try and clear these available angles into hell. There's the one tag. Gotta know that RGL's there. Holding it down. 4 players here for Sentinels. FRZ, what can you do? RGL, maybe. Chance. Attempt for it. Spraying and forwards. Flash. Was that connection? Dropping down, but it's being held by Zelsis and Lovely. So job done by Sentinels.
Almost all of these rounds towards the second quarter have been lovely from Sen. The big question as we get closer to the halftime is, was the damage already done early by MLBR going 4-1 in the lead at the very beginning? Because since then, it's all been Sentinels the whole way. Their defensive setups were good, the operator's been finding so much impact.
Second just frying.
He's finding these amazing timings against the double controller composition, even able to pick up one from Sassy's info there. If MIBR can get another on the round, it will make the second half so much easier for them.
Updraft early on. Any anticipation? Zek can actually wait it out. So it doesn't give that early info, but a jump spot eventually reveals him. He wants to post himself up onto this angle. Smoke! Oh my! It's raw instinct. That's what's at work here. Great first kill. Smoke propped up. Pushing into the position. Dash now to evade. Dodge and repositions now. Gotta expect that one. Doesn't dodge the flash. Sassy's still there though. Locking down the site with the Odin play. They know that mid is compromised, but only 3 players left standing for MIBR. They're gonna be finding it tough to get through this one. Or drop down, a flash through, doesn't connect onto anyone, and they just spotted the run through. It's all being pinked out and picked apart. Zay. Can't do anything, not with the Stinger. So flawless end here for Sentinels, 7-5. Fully in control of the latter half there.
Switching sides.
That first half of Ascent.
Yeah, they were looking incredible ever since MIBR went up 4-1. But again, that's, just in terms of the rounds gained, a very good attack side for MIBR. They just weren't able to put anything together once the economy straightened out for Sentinels. Zekken having a blinder of a defense. And Sassy as well looking so strong in these rounds.
We'll see what ends up happening as well as we head into this one. GB and the desk standing by to break it all down.
Thank you so much, fellas. What a half we just saw. Great ideas from MIBR and a great closeout from Sentinels here. And I kind of want to touch on that first, Athena, because it felt as if MIBR, that what they were doing with the Viper on A, it was working.
Yeah, I mean, like, they had that Viper wall that just completely obliterated that A site, and it actually just allowed the way that Ascent to play to entry in any single direction that he wanted. So if you see over here, he gets onto that top den, he actually fakes it and catches Zelsis off guard. And that wall just kind of put a wrench in everything. And after that, MIBR actually just started having so much success on that A site. They kept pushing, they kept getting it. The only round that they did not win was when Zekken was there to kind of save the day.
Yeah, again, Zekken tries to take contact on these site hits early. There's like a really small window that you have as a jet operator to find a shot before you're forced out by a flash util or your line of sight is blocked by these smokes. Whether it's in mid, Zekken finding these little timings or at A, it's been working out. And it has to be A for MIBR in so many rounds because of this, right? Sarsi's set up, it's not an easy site to hit anyway when a Sova has full util and an Odin. And I've got to say, like, the funneling MIBR into mid, into market where Zelsis or Zekken are waiting for them has worked really well for Sen.
Yeah, it's impressive to see how this Sentinels lineup adjusted when they needed to so quickly.
Yeah, I feel like they completely changed the way that they're playing the game. They made it early round and mid round heavy. They wanted to deny MIBR entry into those sites. Because the second that MIBR had sites, their post spawns were actually really good.
Yeah.
And so Sentinels was just like, yeah, we're just going to push. We're going to play a little bit more aggressive. We're going to start setting up Zekken and more of these aggressive lines and just make sure that they get those.
Hey, Zekken started heating up toward the tail end of that first half. He's looking to bring that momentum forward. And hey, maybe Sasi picks up a coveted win on Sova. We'll see. Let's send it back to Brendan Sideshow.
Plenty of storylines left to follow for this one. One of the ones rattling through my head, though, is it going to be enough here with the rounds earned for MIBR? You got to think with their composition. Attack side Ascent, historically, really difficult to try and work your way through. Pistol round might be deciding quite a lot of the fate of this map.
Knife over, clears wine. They'd be worried about RGL Meister playing in that position, but he's playing to flash off Ardezine's contact. This just looking like a standard A push, where John Cutie can then lurk.
Gives full access and control for Sentinels. So they're up onto the A side. As this flank timing, 3 shots will do it. Half armor can't save you from that. Not even full armor, to be honest with you. Smoke, though, drops down. Flash through as well. There's going to be players playing inside the smoke. The call is made to just try and dominate these angles. The right clicks eventually ringing true. Ardezine, last one standing. In a moment, calls being made, and yeah, no easy target. Zekken bouncing around all over the place, crouching on the spot.
Quite a simple round there from Sen. Just deciding to go for the 4-1 execute, straight into A. Picking up RGL on the other side of the map is really useful, because the smokes are one of the most important tools you have for the retake. But I don't think it even came down to that. When everybody else accelerated, this forward pressure from Zelsis and TenZ just carved through the retakers.
It's a nice idea, honestly, as well from MIBR for the deep smoke and the flash through to see if they could find themselves a cheeky pick, but Sen just one step ahead, and yeah, that dart reveals it all with the Guardian.
And there's no one else home. It was only JCZ to begin with. And he just gets wrecked by Sassy through a wall again.
Paper thin.
Playing with the Guardian, playing with the Odin.
You know, I mean, it's a Sova's dream if you're able to get those easy tags off. So the plan down, Zelsis prioritizing the ult for him.
Yeah, and I think Zelsis can also, you know, swap things around, take the Sheriff, go and hunt some kills, or take some friends with him, so that at least you don't donate the weaponry to MIBR.
Be looking to min-max these rounds out. Hello. Losing the fight out there versus the Classics, but they only handed over the Sheriff. Here it is, support from his team. Close cut to the corner. Ardezine could really seek to punish, but he really just overplays his hand. So it's TenZ. Okay, TenZ, now you're 3 away from your ult. Sentinels is like, I needed those.
Yeah, you need... Sentinels is like, let's load the kills into Zelsis. TenZ is like, whoopsie daisy. Whoopsie, sorry, I killed 3 of them.
Kills. Well,
he's just accidentally too clean with it.
Yeah.
Localizando.
This recon destroys JZZ. Clean from Zen on the pistol and the follow-up. And that might end up being really important because, once more, Sen on the attack sides looked a little sloppy on split. It didn't look that amazing
Here
to clean the map up, and they had much more of an advantage than this. Use the variety of that KO utility to take a deeper knife and a flash off the beginning this time. Clear out Ardezine if he was trying to challenge A.
Here's test for MIBR. See what their responses is. Now, they're not really set up for any re-clearance of A main. Just
Actually,
holding.
It looks like they're about to re-clear A main. Oh no, coming over towards Cat now that they've heard the drone.
Trailblazer was broken there, and yeah, drone straight through mid at the precise timings here for Zekken. It's taking all that space. It's actually taken out FRZ.
What?
Setup going down. Out wide, iBUYPOWER making a go of things here, but John QT was just off to the side, sidesteps it, cleans it up. RGL, it's the only one left standing. Once more for this team here. Sentinels should just be straight up to 10.
That's a great attack round. Barring RGL pulling something ridiculous out here in the 1v3.
So Paranoia has 2 smokes. Not opting to use any of them, hoping that somebody walks into a sight line.
Still on sight.
Drops down. There's a swing from Zekken.
Okay, so they insert 10s into A main, and then Sentinels go back down mid. Zekken somehow gets a ridiculous entry kill with a Guardian over towards B, and that starts the reactions out of iBUYPOWER. Someone just walked into 10s in A main, because they're like, right, well, it's definitely a mid to B if Zekken's fighting this
10s have broken the Trailblazer. So they knew he was there.
Yeah, and they just walked straight into him. The rest of the team from iBUYPOWER trying to take the fight on Cat that didn't work out for them. And Sentinels dominating that middle portion of the map and pivoting as they like between a B split and a catwalk push.
Sublime opening. Bonus round conversion, dart, the flash, cut to the corner here. Hearing some form of sound cues for the reposition of Mazine, so gets himself to safety initially.
My ult's ready.
Important for Zelsis there to get the ult orb.
The Sentinels, they might not shy away from using the ults to convert this round, despite the fact that it might be I don't have much money. That dart, oh my!
Useful dash for Artzine to make his way out to market.
It had to be committed.
But you can see, Zekken's just kind of running around the map with the util, terrorizing people.
It's a call now for them. Poking into mid. Realizing there's no close trips for now Mazine. Gonna make a go of this one. Ult in his face. There's one. Flash. Forwards! Mazine! Rips away 2. Really make things awkward now for Sentinels. What is the call to be made? They're gonna fight this one. Out onto Cat. Hefazi with a stinger. Maintaining a kill. Upgrade.
Sassy's going back to defend the weapon.
Trying to, or at least defend the body. Maybe get Zelsis back up and online.
Can you really get Zelsis up here?
It's going for it. Smokes him off. Only 18 seconds left. It's tapping. Double phase tens! What the hell is
14
happening?
seconds.
14 seconds. How do you get onto the site?
Do they even have time here?
Get a move on right now. Rapid approach. 6 seconds. 5, 4. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know. Oh my God, it's enough. How have they managed to do that? Nail biter. Milliseconds to spare. It puts Artzine into such a horrible situation. Doubled up, 1 player held. Zelsis close to Jenny. All anticipating for the drop down from that position. The door's closed. The options are narrowing for Artzine to make a play. Has 2 smokes. Potentially cut this one up. Drops down, but his player's at his back, and that's 11 for Sen. Insane.
A reminder that was an eco round from iBUYPOWER. That Mazine turned into extraordinarily dangerous territory by just holding an off angle here and getting 2 of them into the flash. Nasty good attempt from Mazine, but this, the reaction to go and save Zelsis in mid, instead of having Tens and Sassy just play the round out in a 2vx.
Certified Tens moment.
I mean, of course BZK is going to feel like that. Bazooka is going to feel like that round got robbed away from them after Mazine set them up for the win. Because there were, again, milliseconds
would
left
love to
on the
see
clock.
A replay, slowed down. I mean, how many milliseconds
Yeah,
was that?
I don't know. I mean, last time we had a situation like that, I think it was Sentinels again on
John
split.
QT just held his composure, held the corner, and there wasn't enough time.
No. I'm sure the desk will be grabbing that clip to have an analysis of it. My word. So, Sentinels actually being able to run away with this one a little bit. We were talking about their attack half maybe being the area where they might struggle a little bit. I think there were some signs of that on split. A lot of the first kills went the way of iBUYPOWER. But after they've got the pistol and then follow up on the bonus works, now Sen only need 2 more to close out this first game of play-ins and put iBUYPOWER away, at least for the beginning.
side op for Zekken. His counterpart's also got one. Trying to control up B main control, but Sender just putting that focus into middle. Spamming with the classics, just in case it's a trip deep down into that angle. Dart as well, doesn't see too much.
There was a little re-clear there from MIBR of A main. So they've gathered some A main information and got RGL kind of posted up there, jiggle peeking. His cam is interesting too. Even if RGL loses info there, they can use the cam for mid-round.
Still got players grouped up back in mid here. FRZ, I mean, really just hunting for any bit of information here. You'd think they would rotate players with B main control, the operator angle, but here we go. Paranoia. Sent flying. It's a pause into the round for Sentinels, but now they don't want to slow down. Close. Into the corner. Tags up. Flash. Mazine could get spammed into that position. Got to be aware that there could be players out towards Generator. Yes, the movement. Dodging, juking, sidestepping it all. MIBR seeking to really just stop this one with a hard angle to flood defense play. JCC might be ahead of everyone. This team's already fallen. Plant for Zeltis. Grouped up into heaven. Sentinels setting themselves up now for the 12th round. Dog through into the smoke. Doesn't allow it to get it easily spammed. Stunned up. Sassy falls. Doubled up into hell. These players have to come up with more than the goods. They have to really come up with the win. Addison. Now he's alone on an island. Knows where the last two players are, but how does he force this fight easily? How does he force the fight easily? Well, it was taken straight to him.
John Cutie cleans up, and Sen get up to match point. That round, they went for the A exec without having a dash online, wondering if they were going into a bunch of trips. And I actually love the way that Zekken baits the crap out of Tens. Tens went for the teleport in, and Zekken was like, you are dead, mate. I'm just going to try and weave my way through the rest of this utility. But the aggression, the 1-2 combo from Zekken and Tens makes sure that they make space, no matter what, for the rest of the team. MIBR have got to come out with something fast. Mazine pops down the pit, and that allows him to avoid getting tagged by that flash recon combo.
Safety there. It's flimsy at best, spamming into all the appropriate locations. The Sentinels will have to give up the main control. It's not part of the plan and protocols for this particular round. You've got to remember, they only need one.
We saw FRZ in the previous round jump spotting over towards mid. Now he's got his setup there.
This angle is just disgusting, but RGL.
Wow.
Nasty, nasty shot.
Incredible awareness of that unusual position on top of Hart.
Great first kill for them. It's about surviving. Batten down the hatches if you are MIBR. Cam.
Look at how good this setup is as well, because even if FRZ's trip gets broken, the cam probably won't. Or the other way around, right? So he's able to call Sentinel's bluff. Oh, that's so good as well. Swinging as Zekken tries to break cam. Lovely little setup there.
30 seconds left.
What will be revealed now with the ult offloaded? 3 players grouped up into mid now. Feel it, but they've got the coverage here. Look at this crossfire setup. Which direction does Sentinels choose to go into here with the Paranoia facing them? Offloaded and used.
Up to heaven.
Was caught up to heaven and around here, but there's not much time left at all. And Addison! Masterful and a masterclass finish here for MIBR in this round. It is flawless.
But it's not that that really matters, in my opinion. It's the fact that by dying, John Cutie and Sassy get their ults online. And now this becomes an extremely difficult round. Great shot. Ooh. Great shot, great awareness. You're not going to have your crosshair trained on that at the start on your swing. The adjustment's excellent. Like I said, though, Hunter's Fury, Lockdown, both online to start this round. And so MIBR upping the pace here would be a great idea.
Miles Crunch. Up top into the smoky place. Addison! Addison dropping down. It's Return with the Fire. So Zekken brings him and the follow-up onto RGL. The players are falling. Deleted. And it's in the blink of an eye. Over. Almost. MIBR have 2 players left.
But a lot more health than Zekken and Sassy have to work with. And they don't have access to that lockdown, which would really make things easier. Zekken has taken just no pause in the action whatsoever.
No way!
How has Sassy won that duel with the Odin?
1 versus 3 for Mazine. This is to stay alive. Not just the map. It's the series here. Our opening match here at the play-ins. Of course, plenty more chances, even deeper, but what a beginning for Sentinels.
And I can promise you, Mazine is not going to save this one.
There's no chance. This positioning is just impossible. Sassy, it's checkmate. He's got a Hunter's Fury into mid. There's no possible way to win. And Sentinels, with the opening match of the play-ins, they reign supreme.
Both of these teams looking for redemption in 2024. We thought Ascent would be the favorites heading into the play-ins. That Group B that they were in looked diabolical. But to be honest with you, it was clean here.
Yeah. There's always chances of it being like, you know, potentially a little bit messy. It's a tight turnaround from one match to the next. When you're playing here first thing in the morning, not much time to prepare, but I mean, they're firing all cylinders.
Yeah. After the first quarter where MIBR went up 4-1, after that it was all Sentinels all the way. Yeah. And Split, you know, a slight amount of sloppiness on the attack side, but generally, my big takeaway from Split is that defensive set is outrageously good. They're really paying off all of the work that they've done in the off-season. This team is looking like the real deal. I think G2 will struggle to stop them later on.
Yeah, but I think as well, Sentinels now not going to be taking it easy. One more match to play later on today, the third one of the day, but they do have time as well to observe their opponents, watch the match. Look at that. But the Sentinel City, they're going to be happy with this.
Extremely happy. You know, Sen, they're not even sure who they would face if they made it through the play-in either. The road to Madrid is still extremely difficult, but it had to include a win here in all likelihood. And I think they just showcased that, you know, they are on a bit of a different tier today to MIBR. MIBR have played great throughout this kickoff, way better than I expected them to be. I want to give them the props for that. They're still not out, of course. We could have some crazy one-to-one-to-one ties if MIBR are also able to beat G2 and then G2 beats Sen.
Plenty of possibilities for later on. That's that slowdown.
3 milliseconds.
0.03. Yeah.
Outrageous. Outrageous. Some great moments, though. The chaos at times, but generally quite clean as Sen put away MIBR.
Yeah, really disciplined. I mean,
it's a long day, though.
It is a long day.
They
and there's
can't
plenty
go
of
home
chance
after
of
that.
Yeah, you can. You got to stick around. You got to stay around for these teams, and I hope you stick around too, because we're going to be sending it down for the Verizon post-match interview. It's Liz who's standing by with tens. I love him.
But do you heckin' love him? Because I think we all heckin' love Tens out here. Sen City is in the house, and Tens is here with me. An incredible performance from you and your team. You are very loud, audience. Give it one more time. Does it ever get old, Tens?
Not really, no. It's always exciting.
It's always exciting. Well, you have one more match to play today, but you have a little bit of a break. And we were talking in the back. Do you lose momentum? Do you lose being warm? Is it good so you can watch your opponents?
I think it's pretty good since we're going to be able to watch our opponents play and kind of make a game plan beforehand. So I think we kind of have an advantage there.
So you're not worried about losing like any like warmth in your like, aim or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Well, speaking of your opponents, you are facing G2. Any thoughts on G2 that you're going to face them? Are you like, oh, it's a cakewalk, or like, oh, they're going to be such a great match?
Should be easy.
Okay. I have to ask you about round 16. That I don't know if obviously you didn't hear them. They called it a certified Tens moment. Zealous's goes down in tiles. You smoke him off. You get the res, and then you just peek mid and get 2. And Sassy gets the plant with literally no time left. And you're laughing because that was insane. That was an insane round. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. I mean, we just kind of made the plan to go revive Jordan, and I realized they're shooting at my boy, so I had to go help him out.
And now on to you. This is the renaissance of Tens. This is you. Your Omen is now literally iconic. You can see that sign right there. Tens, me go Omen, me smoke. Literally, it's so iconic. You talked about it before, but talk to Sen City in the audience about what it's like what it's like being on Omen and being on these different roles than you were used to in the beginning of your career.
Yeah, it's definitely really interesting. Since I never really played the role previously, I've been getting more comfortable on it. I've been adding my own flair to it, so I've been having fun.
All right, and last one. Sassy got his win on Sova finally. What? That was so. Give it up for Sassy. That was so. That was so. He did it. How does it feel to finally we feel like the more we see you play, the stronger and more cohesive you are. Is that what's going to take you to Madrid?
Yeah, I think we definitely put in a lot of hard work during the off season, so I think it's kind of paying off. I think our teamwork really shows, and it's all up from here.
It's all up from here because apparently G2 is going to be easy, says Tens. I'm an instigator. Thank you so much, Tens.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can we give it up one more time for Tens? But we have a lot of Valorant to go through today, but we have a break, so grab some water, grab a snack, write "You Heckin' Love Tens" on a poster, and we'll see you back here soon.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through Attack on Pearl. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle. You're going to be able to fight this.
Look what I've just made. The perfect pearl.
Not too bad, but check this out.
Whoa, a true Venus clam.
Red Bull gives you wings.